pardon my French as always, and throughout all the vlogs that I'm going to be doing this weekend. So why am I here? Well, there's obvious reasons why I'm here. It's a certain place that you can just see beyond there. I'm going to walk the entire Jacques Cartier bridge because I'm not from here, so I'm not going to party or anything this evening. But I got a park to go to tomorrow morning, so priorities are what they are. But I'm going to show you what it's like on this bridge. Originally I was planning on getting here a little earlier, but it being just around after sunset, we'll get a couple of cool views, including views of La Ronde at night from this vantage point. So this bridge was a very proud achievement by the province of Quebec and just Quebecers in general. Not quite the achievement as the original bridge, which is on the other side here, which I'll probably cover in another video. You can't actually walk across that bridge, but this is the first pedestrian bridge that was opened in Montreal, specifically for pedestrian traffic, streetcar trolley traffic, and also bicycle traffic. If you are here visiting, I will say that you want to be on the north side of the bridge, because on the south side, as to a mistake that I alluded to earlier, you kind of are on the bike path, and in Montreal they do not take lightly to infractions like that, and they will tell you that you are not where you're supposed to be, very verbally and very loudly, which I appreciate because I know now that I'm supposed to be on this side of the bridge, which as you can see is actually built for this. You can walk on that side and capture some of the sights, but in the middle point of the bridge, you will get an opportunity to cross. Now, this is actually this bridge is composed of two separate structures that traverse over a small island in the middle, Ile Sainte-Aline, which is now actually the Parc Jean Drapeau as well, and also where La Ronde is located. So you can technically walk from Longueuil, you can walk from Montreal, and come on to La Ronde, which is basically just underneath us. You kind of can't see that. It's kind of a cool shot, isn't it? So La Ronde is actually just over here, and this is part of the St. Lawrence Seaway is actually what we're standing on right now. There's a lot of fascinating infrastructure in this town. I really kind of remember, every time I'm in Montreal, it really reminds me a lot of Paris, not for obvious reasons, but because of the infrastructure and the scale of what they built in this city as compared to what goes on in Toronto. Everything's vast and big. Yeah, there's a lot of concrete, but this bridge sort of identifies like the future of where they were going in the 20th century with the city. So we're approaching the halfway point here, where, as I said, there is an island that you can take stairs all the way down to the ground, of which is where Parc Jean Drapeau is to the left, or at least from the side that I'm approaching, because I'm on the Longueuil side, as mentioned. And this is Montreal. La Ronde is just down here. Jean Drapeau and the expo grounds, as you can see, the dome for the American Pavilion is just over there. In fact, just where I'm standing right now, below me, as you can kind of see, is the original track for the Expo 67 Express or Expo Express line that terminated here. This is actually where the trains were stored, so you can't really see it too well right now, and I could adjust things for you a bit. Has been mentioned by some of my local friends here in Montreal, I believe most of the Expo 67 buildings are protected. So that means that even a bridge like that is long out of use and defunct is not going anywhere, which is, I guess, okay. You can't visit it, it doesn't serve any purpose, but for some of the other buildings, it's great that they are still intact and they provide, you know, sights and oddities and just curiosity and historical documents of where this city has been and where it's going. Where I'm going right now is to the Interchange point, which you'll just be able to see down here. So, as mentioned earlier, we've reached the midpoint of the bridge where we have these infrastructures. Ooh, it's kind of a little creepy looking in there. These have been here since the mid-30s. I believe this structure actually was created in the mid-30s. My facts are a little bit light. I did check on this before I got here, but I'm going to put the relevant information actually this time in font next to me here before we do a little bit of an explore. But this area basically serves as a basis point for you to get to the ground. As mentioned, you can go into this little structure over here, and that'll take you down to the ground. Now, I'm not going to do that today because if you are here, you can get to Laurent that way. Just take the stairs down there, and you are at the park gate. But that being said, I might have a change of heart. I might go down the stairs. I've got some time to go and check this stuff out, so why not, right? When in Rome, how many opportunities do you get to do this stuff? I don't know exactly, but the park will open tomorrow, as mentioned, 10 a.m. It's going to be very exciting. The park itself, Jean Trapeau, not exactly a place that is lit at night. In fact, it's very dark over there, so we'll go down, we'll see what it's like at the bottom, and we'll come all the way back up. Is it open? I don't think so. Okay, so clearly we're open here. So, and as I said, it's got a bridge that goes underneath the actual highway above, or major road above. So that way you can get to the other side without actually crossing the traffic itself. One interesting fact that I did learn about this bridge, though, as I said, it was originally set up for road traffic and pedestrian traffic and streetcar traffic. They originally had 2 streetcar lines that were not used for the bridge, so they transferred, or they transformed those into street or road for road traffic. When they did that, they actually took away the pedestrian causeway or the pedestrian thoroughfare and created paths that jut out onto the sides of the bridge. So in the next section that we reach, and personally during the daytime, for people that kind of get a slight bit of vertigo, it's not exactly the greatest experience because there's nothing underneath you, as you're about to see, other than the metal walkway, which is bolted into the side of the bridge. So for those of you that pay, the better part of almost $200 to do a skywalk on like the CN Tower, well, this experience is for free. I don't know how long this place is open for. It might be open all night, but yeah, since it's not in the city itself, there's not really any stuff going on down here, let's say, because yeah, the city is just over there. You can kind of see Molson, the Molson plant, and all that stuff. So we're gonna go upstairs on the other side here, and then we'll come back down and go back along our journey across the bridge. Tomorrow, I will be doing an extensive video on the original Expo 67 grounds, which are just on the other side of here, as mentioned as well. So definitely tune in for that, and it'll probably be a good companion piece for this entire area that will be covered over this weekend. Have a little quick look here at this sign that we came out to, actually on the other side of the pillar. Now this sign really is like a bunch of rules according to the bridge, but it also has like information about the sections of the bridge as well. If I can zoom into that. So as you can see, it is comprised of 9 sections, just so you kind of have an idea that that is there, because what I do love about French-Canadian history is that they take a lot of pride in their infrastructure, they take a lot of pride in their history, and the achievements of the past, and that's an important thing that Toronto, I don't believe, really has, and is getting even worse as time goes on. You really get a sense of culture when you're in Quebec. This particular bridge, and what is the most impressive thing about it, is the fact that after it was constructed, some 2 decades later, they decided to actually raise a portion of it 100 feet higher than it originally was. This is where the St. Lawrence Seaway was, so I believe that that is the side that actually got raised 100 feet. The bridge was still actually running during that construction, so they put another temporary bridge, I believe, underneath that, and then raised the entire structure, so that way they could get bigger ships in for the St. Lawrence Seaway. Quite an incredible feat. Doing what I said I wouldn't do, and I'm walking on the bike side of the bridge, which would be the south side of the bridge. The paths are clearly marked here, but as it's being just the first day post-pandemic, now we're just going to enjoy the sights of Montreal on this side and make sure that there's no bikers. Generally, if you're on this side of the path and you're good, they can pass and then there's no issue. But if it's busy, I wouldn't recommend being on the path, because if you're checking out sights and stuff and looking down and, you know, enjoying the bridge, you could get distracted like I do. So as you can see, it's a very impressive lighting display they also have on the bridge. Now, there's a lot to say. It's very similar to how Paris is lighted there, the Eiffel Tower and that kind of stuff. And there's a lot of similarities behind how Montreal does things and how Parisians do. That connection has not been lost over the years. I would say, even though the bridge over here that we're going to be visiting tomorrow is technically the more impressive light display, or at least they tell us that is, this has got to be the most interesting overall as far as from a distance, because as you can see, the lights do stuff. Lights over there just change color. Alright, there's another cyclist coming, so we better make sure we're paying attention here. Alright, we got a little area here, as you can see, that is jutting out so you can observe brilliant Montreal behind you here, and that sign in the way is not so great. Brilliant Montreal, much better in the daytime or when you're actually here like I am. It's very impressive. And also you got the structure itself right behind you here to marvel at with its lights. I will say that the structure is very cool to look at in the midst of its lighting display, because yeah, it kind of like these little shooting lights. It's very cool. Always really impressed with what Montreal does with art and light and just making their city look a little bit more special in the day and the night. And this bridge is part of it. So yeah, we're getting into the last section here. I guess we're on section 6, if I remember that. Section 6, no, we're on section 8. Well, we're about to hit section 8. I believe that this here little joint point, if it is indeed section 8 or whatever section that we are on, this is the highest point of the bridge. So you can see the best views of Montreal on that side. Final section of the bridge. It's kind of a quick ending because the city, as you quickly approach, is just down there. Molson plant, the original Molson plant. For those of you that know Canadian beer, that is the birthplace of possibly the worst beer ever created in Canada. And those of you that know Canadian beer know what beer I'm talking about. Because that's the beer that we all start drinking, right? So we're getting back into the city. As you can see, it is still very quiet around here. You can't really hear anything or no bustle. As you can see, it's much brighter now, so the light show actually is ended, and the regular lights have now been turned on to the bridge. So yeah, it was kind of cool to walk across it during that. I hear things behind you here. It's a spooky town, that Montreal. Yeah, it was very kind of cool to actually see the bridge structure itself and how the lights work on it. It was very impressive, to be honest. I like the lights. But yeah, we're gonna go back into this city now and go check out what's going on in Montreal. The end of this bridge is also kind of funny because when they built it, the government actually couldn't even secure the land to make the exit straight. So it has a weird curving section which we'll cover just at the end on this side too. Caused a lot of accidents over the years because drivers don't expect it when they're getting off. But unfortunately the driving tour will not be tonight. So as I said, the bridge actually curves on this section, which if you're not paying attention when you're coming back or coming into Montreal, it turns and then it has another spiral that goes down to actually get you back into the city proper. So it's kind of a little unusual for a bridge. Most people think it just goes straight, which you know, over the years it's caused a lot of issues and accidents. They've kind of made it less a little more gradual of a curve than it was from before. You kind of can't make it out too well here, but if you drive it, you know, like it's a very unusual thing. There's no tolls on this bridge, which for American fans, I'm sure that you won't like to hear, because yeah, there's no tolls on this bridge. And that brand new one, all the way over there, that probably $1 billion project that we're going to cover another day, that I don't believe has any tolls on it either, which is always nice. That's what driving in Canada, it's not as frustrating as doing it in the States, because you don't tend to anticipate the tolls on these things and these structures. The Grand Island Bridge, for example, dings me every time. That's the way I get into the States. But it's a little bit more affordable than the Rainbow Bridge, which is like 3 times the cost to get across. I digress. Canadian bridges, no charge, generally. Not if you're going to PEI, which is one of the weirdest bridges that I hope I cover one day, because the Confederation Bridge, you don't have to pay to go across it to get to PEI, but you gotta pay to get back. So if you want to get off of PEI, you gotta pay them. People behind you, as you said, always be on the right. We'll wrap up this portion, well, basically the majority of our trip here, ending now at the end or the terminus of the Jacques Cartier Bridge. Enjoy the turnaround as we exit the bridge and go into the city proper, where we'll wrap up the festivities for this evening. Just figured I'd give a brief mention. This is the area where you actually get onto the bridge, and it's got a fork here. So as you can see, this traffic coming over here. Can't really capture that too well, but as you can see, they got to go and turn even further off of the bridge once they get to the end of it. It's not straight. I hope you've enjoyed this night look at the Jacques Cartier Bridge. I definitely enjoy getting across it. It takes about a half an hour to 45 minutes to cross if you're taking your time, and if you're only doing half of it, well, it only takes about, I'd say 10 to 20 minutes, probably 20 minutes to get to the Laurent side of the bridge or the center section. There's not really much beyond that. So if you're taking it from Montreal to the center, I'd say that's probably the only section you really need to visit. But if you want to go to Longueuil, I'm really doing not so well, but I will master the pronunciation of Longueuil one day. I think that was pretty good. Thank you for joining me on this interesting look at the Jacques Cartier Bridge. A lot more about this bridge that I did not know. It's been here almost 100 years now, so it's a very significant landmark here in Canadian history. Thanks for joining us. Lots more vlogs coming up from Montreal. As mentioned, we got another bridge to check out. We got Olympic Park to check out, as well as 3 vlogs from La Ronde and a special Expo 67 grounds tour as well. So definitely look forward to sharing that with you guys. Thanks for watching. As always, enjoy the ride.